Basketball game. I think the crowd and everybody enjoyed it, but really disappointed we didn't come away with a W there. They shot the ball so well. They shot the ball so efficiently throughout the whole game. Really disappointed. There's a couple of guys there you cannot do anything. You have to have guard them tighter when they're in a standstill. Jock and Bohannon, you just can't let them shoot it. And we did. I think there was maybe 9 points there. There were big plays in the game. So there were several big plays. The balls didn't bounce our way sometimes, and that's Big Ten play, and we have to react from it. So just our guys are really disappointed, but we can't. It's one of 17 more games in this league. Hopefully there's a lot of things we'll learn that we'll take forward to Penn State Wednesday.
Questions? Go ahead.
I guess the real silver lining of this was, I mean, Wilson had probably the best performance of his career with 28 points and 14 rebounds. So what was really behind his performance? What did you see that Iowa did that maybe allowed him to go off there?
Well, he's just gaining confidence right now in playing college basketball. As you recall, he's got 2 years of really doing very little. And so he's getting an opportunity to. We see his growth in practice. You know, if I were looking at him and I looked at his numbers, averaging 7 points a game, I'd give a lot of help off of him and make him prove you can shoot it. And he did today. We were doing the same thing to the kid Bear, who shot really well last year and it's not shot well this year. So we tried to play off him early, and he hit 2 threes, so we changed the scouting report. And sure Fran did with that with DJ.
John, in the 19 seconds left there in overtime,
you
guys got really one good shot. Are guys a little afraid of trying to be too perfect?
Yeah, are you talking about the end of the game?
Yeah, in the overtime.
Yeah. I wish that, you know, when we got that second opportunity, right, somebody's got to let that thing fly at that point. When it was down like under 5 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Duncan passed it up to Zach. That was odd. But, you know, Duncan was 3 for 9. I mean, the first half, the story was we got some really good looks. We couldn't make it. Derek and Duncan got some really good looks, and we didn't cash in on them. When they got good looks, they cashed in on them. But that was one he didn't feel it. I don't want a guy to shoot if he doesn't feel he can put it in.
Were you surprised? I'm sorry. Were you surprised that Bohannon took those shots in that overtime?
No, his numbers are showing right now that as a freshman right now, you're going to enjoy watching him for the next 4 years. I don't know where he was in the recruiting world or where he was recruited. That kid's playing as good as any freshman point guard in the country. I mean, you look at his numbers, 42% and his assist turnover ratio. He's really, really a good player. He's a big difference in this game.
John, that defense, you guys talk so much about it being, you know, kind of an identity shifting thing.
Yeah.
You know, what's the next step?
When I see them in the first half, it was 36, 38, 9, so I'm trying to forget about the 80 points. You know, they've been averaging 80-some points a game, and it looked to me like it was 74 going in. But we just really had trouble. I mean, Zach worked his tail off. I applaud Zach for making big shots. He's working his tail off on Jock. I think the bigger factor was between the threes was when we had to give help off penetration, the offensive rebounds to give, where you got a guy rotating and the guy's tipping it in. So we're just, obviously you can see you give up that many points, you keep giving up the percentages, it's not fixed.
Anything else?
Is it a matter of stretching these out, just being closer on the perimeter?
Well, yeah, we still, and for whatever reasons, and it's different guys, but there's a few of our guys that don't understand that closeness, and this is, it's been sometimes a month or two, sometimes it's been a couple of years, where still they understand this guys can really, really shoot. And so we're learning about that right now. We're learning a great deal about that, how to make a guy do that. And most guys can do it quickly. It's an issue that we'll just keep cleaning up. I think they have to have Bohannon dot him a few times, and we know exactly what Jock can do to make sure he doesn't get it. But the threes were a big factor in this game. I think the offensive rebounds. I mean, our offense was fine. Our defense, when we needed to. When Zach hit that big three, and then they go down, and I don't know if it's a rebound or a layup. I mean, they just get right to the basket. That's the time. Take a charge. Get a block. Do something, but don't let them have a layup in a 2-point game.
John, Muhammad barely played.
Yeah.
Was that just him?
Just didn't look good out there. Just didn't look good. Got in foul trouble. Did not look good in our last game as well against Furman. So he's got to play better in practice and games. and they were playing a lot of zone. We anticipated a lot of zone. It's really, we want Duncan out on the floor when they're playing a lot of zone. And Muhammad's going to have other chances right now, and he'll be in the starting lineup. But he's got to play better, and we want to see a guy that really is on his game. But once he was out of that game, came back, we just didn't feel it.
With Zach and Derek having such a rough first half, except for Derek's shot at the end, do you just kind of expect that it'll flip in the second half? Or?
Yeah, we hope so, but that is not as easy. Those guys are expected to do a lot of things. They're guarding, really, with their two best players today were Bohannon and Jock, and they're guarding their two best players, and then they got to turn around and score on offense. So that's a mindset that a senior's got to have, and I like the way they rebounded out of that.
The last play in overtime was the play to get it to Wilson and have him take the shot, or would you?
No, we were running some action. There would be multiple ball screens to try and get first. Duncan's the first option. Next would be a throwback to Mo. Next would be a throwback to Derek, right? And then when we threw it back to Derek, right, he drove baseline, and that's where we got it. But no, that was been too kind. We were just playing ball at that time. But Duncan made it get open. The guy hedged hard, but he still got leverage with his right hand. He probably could have shot it up, but it didn't work.
In regulation, you also didn't get a shot.
Yeah, I hated that. Yeah, we ran something that we had been, that I thought would get at least Mo open to get in a ball screen or do something, and we didn't get rid of it quick enough. But that was my fault. We should have run something. We had just put it in the other day, and I thought it would work, and I should have run something that we've run more.
All right, Coach.
Thank you.